Welcome to the 19.9 podcast, and really welcome to Hardwood Heaven. I am Aaron Meyer. I'm one of the hosts of the 19.9 podcast. I'm here with one of the co-owners of 19.9, Josh Barnett. What's going on, Josh?
What's up, sir?
Well, let's get into this a little bit because this concept is coming or has launched, and I'm excited to just learn more about it because we've talked a little bit about it, and I've gotten some previews of it now. But break it down, like where did this come from? The idea for Hardwood Heaven, and how does it tie into everything else you guys are doing?
Well, Hardwood Heaven is just kind of what we had in our brains. So when we looked at all the licensees that we had and the stories that we had to tell, as we started to assemble those for what we wanted to do, centered around the tournament, obviously in Final Four weekend to launch it. We started saying what are some of the greatest stories that we have that we can tell through our products and through the teams that we represent, and then to mix in some new teams too. So it kind of took on a life of its own. It started to become to us like if you were in a basketball utopia, who would you want in there with you? And dead or alive, that doesn't matter. The heaven part is just like you're in basketball heaven. It's a basketball utopia. It's not like it's the afterlife by any means. It's just like you kind of get dropped into this utopia or this place, and you look around and you're seeing Patrick Ewing, and you're seeing Jerry Tarkanian, and you're seeing Danny and the Miracles, and all these different things, and you're looking around in this basketball utopia, and you're saying like, is this heaven? You're pinching yourself, wondering if you died and went to college basketball heaven. So that's the entire concept behind it, and then we had to figure out how to bring that to life, and how to project that story or project that vision onto our website, and then obviously onto our customers as well.
So you've got the like 30,000 foot view there. This is the concept, but then you start to break it down into these regions or the maps, and the maps are where you kind of drill in, where you can start to almost take control of and feel a part of Hardwood Heaven, where you can kind of decide what is your Hardwood Heaven, right? So you get the opportunity, not just, I mean, you can learn about all of it and check out the products in all the areas, but you get a chance to tailor it to your interests as well.
Right, you get to float around in the clouds, and you get to kind of choose your own path. So we have six stories in there, I believe, that you can click on, and you can read the short form of it first. And if you want to continue reading, you can click read more, which takes you to the long form and explains and tells you more about the different stories that we wanted to tell. Or you can click shop, and you can go into the collection that is represented by that story. So Beast of the East will take you. All of them are going to take you actually to the Hardwood Heaven, the whole Heaven collection. But you can click on the shop in the Beast of the East, and it's going to take you to those products for Georgetown and Syracuse with Villanova, etc. Same thing with Pi Slamma Jamma. Or you can click read more, and you can read more about those stories. Why were they called the Beast of the East? What was the deal with Pi Slamma Jamma? So it's a bit educational too, in that we wanted to make sure that we were highlighting the main stories that we wanted to tell in Hardwood Heaven. And the cool thing for us is, I think it's always going to evolve. Obviously, we tailored these stories around the licensing that we had too, but our licensing is always going to evolve. It's always going to grow. So Hardwood Heaven next year during the Final Four might look completely different than this version of Hardwood Heaven. So I think it's a theme that we can continue to play on and continue to bring product to life and bring stories to life and have a lot of fun with it. That's the goal, anyways.
So give me an example of like one of the stories. Preview one of the regions or one of the areas of the map for me. You mentioned Beast of the East. Like, okay, I get in there. I see the short form kind of telling me what that even means if I don't know at all. Hopefully you do. But then what am I going to find it in there once I get in there?
Well, you're going to find the stories of the national championships of the teams that came from the Big East, the national championship teams that came from the Big East, and then we'll have product that's tailored to that too. So you'll read about Villanova 85, and then you can go and buy the 85 Villanova shorts, which will
Nice.
be back in stock for the first time in a long time.
All right.
You can read about Cuse '03 and Melo's run, and Jen Boeheim's national championship, and then you can go and buy the '03 national championship shorts that will be brought back. So there's a lot of that. Some of these products will be there from the very jump, from the first day that we open it, the first minute that we open Hardwood Heaven and part the clouds, they'll be there. And other products will be dropped in as the days go on. So we have
Okay.
special things that are going to be dropping in from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all the way up to the national championship game, where new products will be added. Some of them will be old favorites of you guys listening that the customers really want us to come back that are out of stock, and some will be completely brand new. And we even have a couple new teams that'll pop up on the map as well. So we're excited for all of
We
it,
gonna
man.
talk about the new teams, or what can you tell us right
Yeah,
now?
no, we can talk.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. I mean, it's on the
Who's it?
map.
New
Like
new
this is the
teams.
this is the
Who we
intro of it.
got? Who we got?
So we'll have Illinois will be dropping for the first time, which will be cool. I know that they suffered a heartbreaker. We're taping this a little bit early. They suffered a heartbreaker earlier today, and then we'll have Cincinnati, which is one that has been over requested and has lit up my inbox for the last better part of the last 4 to 5 years. And so we have some good. I'm starting to laugh because I know what we're launching, and people can get on and look at it now. And I know people are gonna be mad at me because we didn't do the Cincinnati Kenyon Martin era
Oh
shorts, but
yeah.
those will come in time. I wanted to get these other two knocked out first. So
Did you set it? Did you set
um,
yourself a pair aside this time? Did you remember to?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to on the '96s. If anybody has listened to this, they know that those are my grails.
Yeah.
And so yeah, those will be worn around the west side of Evansville many a day this summer. So,
Yes.
um, so yeah, so we're excited about that. We also have new product for some of our older schools too, but those are the two new product drops. And we also have a women's national championship T-shirt collection that's going to be popping in there too. So there's a few new teams that will be launching on the women's side, which will eventually uh, have apparel for the men's side as well. But
That's
we will
awesome.
have Texas Tech. Tennessee will be dropping on there. So we have a Texas Tech women's shirt, a Tennessee women's shirt, and Arkansas and Yukon women's shirt as well to kind of commemorate some of their national championship runs and teams too. So yeah, we're excited about that too. So there's all kinds of little nuggets in there, little things that you can find. Dance around on those clouds. Click everything because there are some Easter eggs out there to be
Ooh.
had. Just get in there and click, 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 and keep clicking
You just gonna
because you
say
never
you
know
just
when
gonna
something's gonna
say
pop
Easter
up.
eggs, or are you gonna give us some hints right now?
No, no hints, man. You got to get it. That's the fun part. You
Okay.
got to get
Okay.
in there and you got to find that stuff for yourself. So, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
I love it. Well, on
We'll give
top.
some hints on social media. We'll give
Okay.
some hints
Okay.
on
Good.
social media when the time comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this, check the social media, and there'll be some
Yes,
stuff on
and
there.
be sure you follow us on social media for giveaways, contests throughout that whole week of the Final Four. YouTube, we'll be doing some stuff on YouTube as well. So anywhere you can follow us, anywhere you can keep tabs of us, please do so because you don't want to miss out on a chance to win gift cards or win some product or whatever the case may be.
Well, besides this podcast too, part of the storytelling is going to be more podcasts that you have graciously lined up already. So you want to talk a little bit about what we've got coming up? We've taped one already, which was, I mean, it was fun, and I think
So
it turned
that
out
was fun.
great. Um,
Yeah, it was
but
fun.
we got some more stuff coming up, so why don't you preview
Yeah,
some of that?
super excited about that as well. We got some guests that are coming up. I don't want to give it away, but the guests always relate back to the stories that we discuss or that we have in Hardwood Heaven, and also the products that we're tying the product that we're tying the stories to, or the stories that are tied to the product. We want to go out and get some special guests to come through and help us tell those stories. And so we've done a few. We have a few more to go. We're going to talk Slam Top 50 with Dennis Page and PRC. That's going to be a fun one because I was involved in that and I know the
Got
behind the
yourself in
scenes, and
Slam.
I
I'm
can
jealous
I
for
can
that.
yeah, man, I can peel back the curtain to that, and I'm looking forward to talking a lot of trash with those two. But we have some guys lined up for Kansas. We got some guys lined up for Villanova. We got some guys lined up for uh, the top 50, like I already mentioned, and then we get some shoe guys in here too to talk a little bit about
Georgetown.
March
We got
Madness
Georgetown.
and
Jesse Washington talking about Georgetown.
Georgetown, Jesse Washington, and we got some shoes talking about the best shoes in tournament history and some things like that, and just basketball style in general. So, the pod's gonna be going the entire time. We'll be dropping new pods every day, starting. I think I want to say it. Well, start with this one. I can't remember the day, but from then on, it'll be every day. We'll be dropping a pod that ties back and relates back to the whole theme of hardwood history. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, what's so much fun about doing these too, and just in general, is that they're the evergreen type where you can just go, if you can't listen to one a day, hopefully you can, because I just this time of year I'm all in on basketball. Not that I'm not all the time, but college basketball right now, it's like mainline into your blood right now. I even liked how it as didn't start on the usual day, and so it'll kind of carry into Monday. Even start the week off with
I
games
hated
too.
that at the start, and
I
now
know.
that it's Sunday, I'm like, wait, we have games
Games
all day
tomorrow.
tomorrow
Yeah,
too, and
exactly.
I'm fired up for it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that Monday kind of feels and works. But you're on spring break, so you don't care. That
Love
that works
it.
out
I
perfectly
know.
for you.
I'm loving the daytime games too. The light coming through at Hinkle Fieldhouse, just like getting in people's eyes. Oh man, that feels like so amazing to watch little nuggets
Yeah,
like
that
that.
is hilarious. Like
Yeah.
that huge glare that runs through there. Yeah,
I
it,
love.
it it's fun for us because we're in Indiana, so like we know the venues. As
Oh
soon as
man.
these teams pop up on screen, I'm like, they're playing at Mackey, they're playing at Assembly Hall. That's at the Farmers IUPUI one.
Yep.
Like that's my favorite one. Maybe is
I
the
think so.
is the Farmers. I can't even remember what it's called, but that is dope
They
because
they did a good job with it.
it's so quaint in there. Like it's what I mean. It's very very intimate. And it's not a big arena, so it's like one of the louder ones. But I have to imagine that these dudes love playing in those venues too. That are made for
Well,
basketball.
some of them do with the number of upsets. Maybe not everybody's loving it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. That's true too. But yeah, if there was a year for us to do Hardwood Heaven, we felt like we had to do it this year with
Man, in
the mystique
Indiana.
of Indiana and it being in our backyard, and that was part of the concept too. Like what can we do to celebrate our home state and our love for basketball, and I think maybe even in a meeting, and maybe the other Aaron said something like it's almost like Indiana's going to be a basketball heaven or something along those lines, and then it just kind of took off from there. And this is what we envisioned, and this is what we present to you guys, and we hope everybody likes it and participates and loves the new schools and loves the new drops and the overall theme and stuff, loves the pods, all that stuff. We really busted our ass and spent money to make it great for you guys. That was like the main thing that we always have in mind is how can we make an experience better for our customers. Like that's the whole thing because we know that you guys are just hoop nerds like we are, and it makes us happy to make you guys happy. So we hope you like it.
Yeah, I mean it's great to not just get a product that I love, but also feel like I'm participating. That's my favorite kind of buying stuff is like, okay, I'm getting something that I'm really going to enjoy, but I'm also feeling part of a community, and that's what's been so much fun about this. You've got a question that you're going to ask all the guests, so I'm gonna have you kind of throw that out there, and then if you want to answer your own question, I'm kind of curious what you would say.
I love this question. Like I love asking this to all our guests because I think it's fascinating and it's interesting to hear what people say and how they answer it. So I'll throw it to you. I'm gonna throw it to you
Okay.
first, and then you answer, and then you can toss it back my way if you want, and if not, I'll get it in another pod. It's no big deal. But I always want to ask in your basketball utopia, in your basketball heaven. So whatever that basketball heaven is that exists in your head, the pearly gates open up and you walk in. Who are you looking for first? Who are you seeking out to sit down and just have a talk with right from the jump. You know, you're beeline. You see them, you're looking, your head's on a swivel. Of course, you're gonna love everything that's in it because it's coming from your head. But who is the main person, the main team, the main uh, idea? What is it that you're seeking out to learn more about, or just sit down and talk with?
Yeah, when we had Josh Wade answer this, I was thinking about my own answer, and I think it's so hard because there's two types of answers. There's like the who do I just want to see? So like Michael Jordan. All right, I haven't met him before, so I'd be like, all right, I want to run into
Right,
Michael
dead or
Jordan.
alive too, right? This doesn't have to
Yeah.
be that they're deceased by
And,
any means.
and then I start to think though, so many people know his story, and I'm really into like stories that are not as well known, or people that seem to have influenced the game on so many different levels and can tell just different, have a different vantage point. So then I thought like John McClendon, because there's not a lot known about him, or not a lot of people know about him, and he just changed the game in different ways. But I think right now, and you know, this could always change, but I'm going to say John Thompson right now. I just read his autobiography, really top of the mind. He just had such an interesting life. And I think he is this bridge between like what college basketball was and what basketball was and what it became, right? He starts out and, you know, he's part of segregation and, you know, first black coach to win a national championship, played for the Boston Celtics in an era where they couldn't initially start 5 black players. And then he follows it all the way up through Iverson. He's best friends with Dean Smith. It just seems like he is one of those guys in college basketball and basketball in general that just spun the globe, right? Like he's on some of these Olympic teams. So he's out there and just has this like outsized influence, even though he's at Georgetown and it's not maybe a traditional blue blood. It just is like, because of who he was able to touch so many corners. And I just would like to, you know, just hear him talk. He's a fun guy to listen to too. So I just would like to sit down and have him tell some of the stories, maybe the ones I even know already, just to hear him tell them.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Mine revolves around coaches too. I wonder. That's funny that we both pick coaches over players.
Might be our
And
age too, right?
it is. I mean, we are a
Yeah.
little bit older, and we know that those. So any player that you pick, if we stayed in the college ranks, any player that you picked would have 4 years worth of stories. But some of these coaches have 35 years
Yeah.
worth of stories, you know, built into one school. And so it's very hard to, like you said, to concentrate on one person. But I would love to get like a think tank of coaches sitting around, you know, sitting at a bar with me as a fly on the wall. I don't even want to participate. All I want to do is just listen. So I want Pat Summitt, I want Bob Knight, I want John Thompson, I want Tark, I want Patino, I want Raleigh Massimino, I want Al McGuire, I want like the greatest of the great, and then I want Jim Valvano, Coach K, Wooden, obviously, just 10 to 12 of those people sitting around and talking about their different philosophies with basketball. But then on a personal side too, I want my grandpa there, who I never got to meet, but was a Wright's all-time leading um, wins coach at my high school that I went to, who coached with through cancer. They had to take out his vocal cords, so he coached with towels, so lifting up
Wow.
different towels. But I don't want to talk to him, like I want to talk to him personally, yes, but I want him sitting at that table and chopping it up with those minds, because some of those high school guys have some of the greatest basketball minds to ever be associated with the game. They just stayed in the high school
Well,
ranks.
all
And I
those
would
old coaches too.
and they
They
all
started
came
out
up.
in high school, right? That
So
just doesn't have
I would
anymore.
right, and I would love to just see how all those people and all those egos interact together, and some of the stories that they tell. And then you want to see like who has respect for the other, who is having little conversations off on the side from that big massive group, who's kind of gravitating towards the same thing. I just think it would be completely fascinating, and that would be my version of my own Hardwood Heaven, is just to be a fly on the wall for that.
I love that. Okay, I got a follow up question. If you had to pick a current coach or to be in that group, who would you want? Because I'm kind of curious. I would want to see, because I think part of being in that group would be can you hold, can you carry your own weight, right? Can you carry your own water? So is there
Well,
a current
I said
coach?
Patino.
Ah,
He's
that's true.
current.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Um,
In the tournament this year, that's my fault.
I
Yeah,
know it.
yeah, I forget
But
about
I
that.
will. I'll answer the question
Maybe
for
an up and
sure.
comer would be a better way to phrase it then.
Okay, well, I was gonna go Bill Self. I think Self is fascinating. I think he's a great storyteller. And I've heard some pretty hilarious Bill Self stories, and I think he would be very, very comfortable bellied up to that bar with a beer in his hand, talking shit with those guys. So
Definitely.
he would be fun, man. He would be fun to have around.
Yeah, he would be awesome. You could get West Virginia's coach in there too. Huggy Bear would be.
Oh, I love Huggy
He'd be a
Bear,
good.
man.
He'd be a good one. Just like throwing some dynamite into the mix too to make sure everybody really gets into it.
He had a nice he had a lot of nice things to say about Coach Knight when they asked him because he is only 2 wins away from matching Coach Knight. So I
Really?
know there's a lot of
Wow.
mutual. Yeah,
Amazing.
he's been around
Yeah, I
forever,
know.
man.
Yeah, I know
So
he has. That's amazing though. I did not know that. Well, what else you got, man? Anything else you want to hit on before we get out here tonight?
stay tuned. Hardwood Heaven. Go enjoy it. Be sure you follow us on social media. Stay up to date on the pod. Any social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We'll be posting. We'll be doing giveaways. The pod's going to be awesome. Be sure that you listen, and just enjoy the experience and enjoy the weekend of games. And let's see who comes out ahead.
Yeah, everybody's on their phone during games. So if you're gonna be on your phone, you might as well be learning about basketball rather than watching the commercials or just doom scrolling Instagram. Get on something and have fun with it and learn more about the game.
Everybody's going to be talking about what's happening. We're talking about what has already happened. We really don't know much about the current game, but we know a lot about the stuff that's already happened.
No doubt about it. All right, man.